Uh, and like some of the random elements, like the fact you can just get screwed on floor safes and therefore not be able to get like all the information that you need to get the highest score in a mission. Um, that's irritating, but I love this game anyway. It's still one of my favorite games ever, despite a lot of the issues. And I hope more people play it. Thank you all for watching, and stick around for Rayo with God of Thunder. I'm going to throw on some music here. And stick around, everybody. Bye.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? RayeoTNJ here, once again, bringing you this time a two-pack of DOS games, where these are actually ones that I have shown before in the past. I've actually shown the full series of both these games, but due to time constraints with having a newborn and stuff like that, I figured I could just quickly come on and show you the first episodes again. So, first game here will be God of Thunder, and an early 90s DOS game created by, I believe, 2 or 3 people. Um, when the source code came out in 2020, I believe one of them had said that they were told that no one knows how this game actually works. Um, or how it was able to compile because it was such a mess. But they got it to work. They set up the first episode of shareware, and as of the early 2010s, I believe the entire series is now part of freeware. So, so we'll just begin. We're going to be doing part 1, the Serpent Surprise, and how the game primarily works. Not game. The story of the game is that basically Odin went into Odin's sleep, and Loki decided to take all of Midgard. So now, Thor now has to go around and actually save Midgard from basically Loki and his 2 minions, Jormungand and Norgir. So for the first episode, we're just fighting Jormungand. So it's a typical top-down shooter, similar to like if you were doing a Zelda type game. But your only weapon is your mighty hammer, and you just have to do. It's basically almost like just a pure puzzle game with a couple of action scenes. What you have right now is basically it's showing the basics of currency, of needing a certain amount of coins in order to progress. As you saw earlier, you saw a blue money bag, which means it's worth, you need 10 jewels to get past, and then there was one with red, which means you need 100. So for the first episode, they kind of decided to just show it off there and never really need it again, because the jewels that we get from now on don't matter. We will never need to collect any jewels again unless we just accidentally grab onto them. And If you can see below, you have health and magic. Since this is on the any percent, we are actually playing on easy mode, so health shouldn't be a problem. And from right there, we just got our first spell that you will collect throughout the entire series. That's actually just the Enchanted Apple, which allows us to regain some health for the use of some magic. The big issue here is we don't want to have to use magic right now, as you'll see soon enough. So in the town, it's just you really have to do a couple of basically things in a specific order in order to get through the town. So the big thing here is that Loki and his minions destroyed the bridge, as we just saw, as we just passed by, and we need to have it actually fixed. But in order to do that, the troll that we saw earlier is requesting that we find his missing doll. His missing doll is actually hidden unless you talk to the right person. Now, it can be confusing because the game doesn't give you any hints on where to look, but it's actually this one right here who does not like the troll, decided to steal it and sent it off to her mother's house. Once you talk to her, the mother's house will magically open, because that's how anything works. Talk to a person, the door randomly opens elsewhere. So if we had talked to that wind, this door would be locked. But now that it's unlocked, we can get the doll. And now go back to the troll, who will allow us to gain access to the bridge maker that will allow us to continue. So the big thing here is he's actually going to tell you how to find Jokerman. He's going to tell you the name of the bridge, which you're not going to see because we're trying to actually just skip the text as we go along. So that's basically the puzzle part of that, is that he tells you the name of the bridge that you need to tell the bridge maker on how to fix it. So we're going to go up to this top corner and go to the second floor and meet the bridge maker. Now, big RNG, where is he going to walk? Okay, we got lucky. So we need to do a bridge, and we need to do Creakin's bridge. And then we're going to die. Now, the dying is weird because basically doing the automatic death means the entire room resets, which means anything you killed or got resets, except it ignores text. So once you selected the text, the game doesn't actually... the game forgets to actually reset it. So once, as you'll see, the bridge is now complete, but we aren't done yet. When I saw the guy that took all my magic earlier, which I forgot to talk about, he gives you a key, and that key allows you to get into here, which you need access to get this magic right here, which is the lightning, which is the primary weapon for most of the actual series. So now that one thing I forgot to mention, all 3 games in this series all pretty much follow the same set, where it's at some point you're gonna have a town, you're gonna have a puzzle, and you can have a section where you need to collect money, and then a boss. It's really like 4 parts of the entire game. But now that we're out of the town section, we're doing the little adventure part, where we are trying to get a bunch of keys to get onto the next section. And another thing to mention is that with a lot of these traps here are actually all insta-kill. Before I do that, let's switch out of the shrub. The shrub is something you need that the troll will allow you to enter into the next section. If you try to eat it, which you can do, the game kills you, because it just likes to joke around like that. Yeah, that troll right there, that's just sitting in the way. He will not move unless you give him the shrub. The great thing is that you don't need it actually selected as an item for him to take it. The game will automatically know that you have it and give it to you. Okay, so at times you see me killing actual civilians. Now, obviously in the game you don't want that. When you're playing casual, you don't want that because it's going to take away your points. But in the end, who cares? So he goes, hey, that's the shrub. Can I have it? Yes, you give it to him, and he gets out of the way. Now, this is the only time in the game in which you're going to see, in this mode you can do it. You can switch the skill level. Because in this room, the skill level will actually change dependent. So the skill level will change the speed of these enemies. Oh. So if you're in easy mode, they actually go slower. And on hard mode, they go super fast. So on any percent, you can start on easy and move to normal and go back if you please. It's only on default settings that you have to stay on the difficulty that you decide to choose. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of my magic here to get some of my health, because it's really not worth not really worth waiting to not take the damage. Ooh, good, we got the quick cycle. And then once we're out of here, we can immediately, no, we don't. We want to switch it back to easy. Okay, and now that we're done with the troll, now we're pretty much done with 2 parts of the game. Now we're getting into the maze / puzzle. So basically we're now going into essentially a Lolo type game. There we go. Yeah, so we have to go through that to get those keys that we saw on that island over there, and that will allow us to get into the next section. Kill him so we don't have to talk to him. Okay, so these guys will automatically insta-kill you if you get in their way, but we are going to be using the block, the stone there that we're rolling to get in their way. You can actually get past them if you're actually far enough away, but you have to be like a full screen away to not get hit by them. Okay, so more spiders. Again, these spiders will be insta-kill if they hit you, so we want to play it safe and just go. Once they're high enough, there is a spot, if they're high enough, you can just go and you will never get hit by their shots. Okay, now we are on to the maze section of the game. Oh, get hit. There we go. Okay, now here I have to be careful on my movements, because you can actually, I wouldn't say soft lock yourself, because you can actually just kill yourself. But it just wastes time if that happens to you. So here's the maze where it's just a bunch of holes, and I went into the wrong one. Where am I going? I do not know. There we go. Yeah, so in the maze, you actually you have to find 2 keys. One is very simple to find. It's out in the open. The second one is a little harder to find, because you actually have to find someone and talk to them to be able to get it, which is the old troll that we got the doll in which we found their doll for. You talk to him, he gives you the keys, and he tells you to get out of here. And just like that, we are actually done with the maze. That's all we had to do. Find those 2 keys and then find the exit, which will be right over here on the right, past this small little cave section. Okay, head over here to the left, and now we are done with the maze. All we have left now is a couple of a couple of puzzles, and we are on to the final boss already. Since this is a marathon, we're going to just add a little health. All right, now we're on to our first little puzzle, where we have to try to get those 2 keys. But I'm going to try to do a little trick here. Okay, there we go. See, the game isn't actually that smart. I was able to just walk through there and not have to waste a key. So I have 1 extra key left over, leaving that area, which is going to make the last screen super, super easy, as you will see in just a moment once I get there. Okay, we're going to do another little skip here. This section, the game wants you to, and I just screwed up, so we'll reset. See, sometimes games are... The game's hitboxes in this game is a little finicky. So sometimes you want to give yourself a little bit of extra space. But the game wants you to use 2 items in order to skip this part, but we are not. We're just going to use 1 and just go. Okay, now the biggest RNG section of the game, the witch. So that witch randomly on certain amount of frames is going to go up and down or left and right depending on where it's set, and it's going to keep going until it hits something. And we want it to hit that switch that causes the whatever they're called, the logs to move up and down. So, and the funny thing is, we actually got pretty good RNG there. And okay, now we're going to try to do one trick here. Okay, we did it. We were able to use the block just far enough to actually get out of there. Okay, so how the game wants you to, it wants you to get that key up there. But we're not going to. We're just going to skip the entire section and just go right up. So just like that, we are on the boss of episode 1, Jormungand. Now, we never actually found out, but his weak point in this game is actually the back of the crown. So you want to get him to come towards you, shoot Mjolnir, and then hit him in the back of the head. And just like that. And just repeat this until he's gone. I think it's about 10 times. Oop, I went the wrong way. Okay, one more time. And he's done. And just like that, Thor has taken over, has completed 1/3 of his task. He gets the secondary special armor, which does absolutely nothing other than make you look silver. And we're going to cross over the bridge. And we would start the second episode, but for here, we are finishing the run. So there we go. And that right there was literally just episode 1. A very short game. A very short... Actually, the entire series is actually very, very short. I think all in all, when I ran it last time, it was only about 50 minutes. And even that was a little slow. But yeah, so that was God of Thunder. Not much else to talk about. Again, the entire series, all 3 episodes are now free online. So if you'd like to try it, it's a very simple, not too complex game. It has some hard parts, but it's nothing crazy. Other than that, we'll take a small little break and I will be back for my second game, Pagan Nitsu.